maybe it's time for a different format. Maybe. But then again, I love to complain about shit. First things first. First things second. Third things first. Hey, no. This is about. Oh Jesus, man! Now this guy is parking there. He gets out, or he doesn't get out. Just wanted to use this way. I thought like nobody's here, but yeah, fuck it. What was I saying? I have to be compliant about the Data Privacy European Act, DSGVO. This is the most important part of our work. It's not about progress, it's about protecting privacy, which is kind of ironic because this hinders progress on one hand. On the other hand, there remains the fact that spying on people is also not good. So make of that what you will. Like the argument of, yeah, let's spy on people, we need this to evolve our product. Man, who's buying all that bullcrap? Certainly not me. This is an old road, sort of, so to speak, that I've been using quite a lot. Like last year I was running here, but at the tender age of 33, my right knee won't allow me to do this. Since many months, if I go down with like one knee and go up, serious pain ensues. See, I try the new format, my car comes around. I don't try the new format, it's like a ghost town, which is quite amazing on its own. So, back to all the topics that I had in mind. Like one is prompting. I need to prompt better, I need to read better, I need to extract more information more precisely. Quicker, faster, better and all that. Now this guy is coming around. Now we have a love parade here. At this point, the moment I start recording, everyone will be here. This will be Neu-Berlin part 2. You know? You just can't have nice shit. This guy, this fucking guy is killing me, man. He drove around the corner for like 50 meters just to stop. Jesus, man, what have I done to you? I just want to record a video. Okay, back to the topic. Let me get my energy drink from my backpack. And maybe you should know the setting. It's approximately 1 a.m., you know? And it's like, what is it? The 6th or 7th of August in 2025. Yeah. Who would have guessed? And you're gonna know that Cheerio, what is this? Bullet. Yeah, black cherry berry. Okay, first I had a beer from the way to Etting to Oberhonstadt. Now on my way back Oberhonstadt to Etting. It's not wedding like Berlin, but almost. No, not really. What was I saying? Yeah, that I prompted a lot, I troubleshooted some stuff, I found out some stuff, read a lot, learned a lot, forgot a lot. But it's my brain is, volatile, like DDR, double data random access memory. It's all about that volatile memory. How much can you take in and drop immediately afterwards after your system shuts down? Yeah, we have like holidays for 2 weeks, and quite funny how my mental state shifted from I'm so stressed out and everyone wants something from me, and it's also nice when I can talk. I got like one teach woman. I also made another video about her. We had her for like 3 weeks. I made the video in the second week, but it's sort of not escalated, but it, you know, I kept cool in the back. But you know, there are more and more and more people, and I'm sort of getting an allergic reaction to people. I mean, I also talk a lot, and some people tend to like put themselves, you know, in the middle. Maybe I'm also one of those people, but do it nuanced, very, very gentle. Don't force yourself upon other people with the maximum force. This is quite awkward and unpleasant, you know. And the thing is, yeah, all the time my mind and mindset was like, oh, I'm so busy, I wish I could get like 1 second to do all my shit because I'm so important. Now that I have the free time, it's sort of like my shell, my persona, the actor I'm playing, you know, the agent I'm representing. The script is running to its end course. It's running the last line of the script, and now I'm like a terminal pipeline underscore symbol, like blinking, you know, like what's the next command. And to be like always 200% and go and push and push and go and pull, you know, and little to no sleep, talking, planning, scheming, doing, realizing, you know, pushing this forward, putting this aside. Now this standstill, you know, it's like the calm of the ocean, the middle of the hurricane, and this fucks with me. I'm sort of like every break that is like longer than 1 or 2 days is like a new midlife crisis. And then I think about how many midlife crises can you have? You're not even midlife, so to say. Some people say midlife starts with 20, you know, maybe in the middle ages, haha. But then again, when you're in your 30s or 40s, you know, and I come to realize this consciousness like falling apart. And what do I mean by consciousness? I don't mean this hippie bullshit, you know. I mean this fleeting time, like blah 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 blah. You do shit, you focus and work. Oh, would you look at the time? It's 1 year later. Oh, gotta do my projects next year. Blah blah blah. Do some work. Holy shit, it's been 2 years. Gotta do my work or project this time in my spare time, and time is of the essence. And I know this is like the main theme of this persona, me, or this character, or this bit I'm doing. I don't know who I'm playing anymore. I don't know if I play myself anymore. Probably. I play myself many times a day. But it's exhausting. I want to do my shit. And then you ask like AI, you ask friends, you ask the school books, you ask literature, you ask everyone, you know? Ask, sorry. Fucking the problem with speaking English, you know, British English, American English, is if you do it like post-ironically on a day-to-day basis, you sort of you create some sort of rift between, you know, tomato, potato. And yeah, the thing is, I need to do shit. I have another dear close person in my life who should also do some shit, but he's not realizing how much time this person is not realizing how much he, she, or it is wasting, you know, let's put it like that. And maybe that's the sense of life, realizing that time is running out, you know. The purpose in life is realizing that you have no time left and time is running out on a constant basis. This is my raison d'être. Oh yeah, these are my Bluetooth speakers. Bist du dämlich oder dämmst du schon? IAB, dein Energieberater. Oh, QR-Code. Back on track, back to the topic. Learning languages, doing like this video, doing that video, ripping this, editing this, uploading this, wanting to stream that, setting up this netbook modification, planning, communicating, learning with my classmates. Sadly, I'm the driving force, and then I never like when I'm the driving force, because I think, guys, maybe it's the self-hatred, you know? I think like, guys, I'm like literally utter garbage trash. Oh shit, I forgot to mention, every 1 or 2 meters there are spider webs, spider webs everywhere, you know, on my arms, on my face, on my legs, everywhere. On a constant 2-second basis, I run into those fucking spider webs. Can't take it anymore. Yeah, as I was saying, and I don't like it if when I'm the driving force, because this means things is going southwards. You don't want like the most retarded person to take over, you know? This is like, I'm not built for a captain function. Then the people say, yeah, the person who says they're the least capable are the most capable. Nah, they're not, you know? This is like self-diagnosing crap. People self-diagnosing them with ADHD and autism and whatnot. So I'm self-diagnosing myself with, I don't know, you know, that I'm perfect. Is this an option? In a time where it's sort of, you know, virtue signaling and ghosting and gaslighting are like the highest disciplines of sports. In those times where people say, you're a fucking white male. Am I outing myself? Am I putting myself in a bad light when I'd say I'm function pretty good? Oh, next car, beautiful, yeah. Put on those beautiful, what is it? Shiners? Nah, don't mind me. I prefer to stay blind, yeah. E.T. coming to visit. Fuckface. Okay, anyways. He didn't need to turn on those headlights so brightly. You can't tell me that. Yeah. As I was saying, I'm the driving force. I don't like to be the driving force. This means shit is going down southwards. Southwards, downwards, south down, down south. You know what I mean. And yeah, it's happening on a constant basis. And I'm the driving force, and I think, guys, I'm really into computers and all the shit, but you also sort of pretend this stuff, but at least try to emulate like 1 or 2%, like you try to put on these big boy pants and shoes, but then when you're in the work clothes, so as to say, you're like, oh yeah, I just shit the bed. And say, wow, was it really necessary for you to put on your work boots, your work pants, and all the shit just so you can fuck up? Couldn't you realize sooner that you fuck up? And then you ask ChatGPT, no, it is important to learn those valuable lessons, and everyone might screw up at every point of their way, and it's normal to fail, and you should be very gentle with yourself and thoughtful, and think about that people make mistakes. That's the shit. That is the, like, I feel like, you know, this is maybe cringe, maybe this is some alpha male red pill bullshit. It's like everyone has some, okay, metaphorically speaking, okay? Please don't take me word for word, like everyone has some sort of, let's put it like a lion, you know, a driving force. And for me, it might be, let's supposedly say it's abusing caffeine on a daily basis, you know? But still, this shit with everyone makes mistakes. What happens when you hear that shit? What happens when I open some AI chatbot, Gemini, ChatGPT, Ministral, Quani, what are the others? DeepSeek, all those other shit, Windsurf, Cursor, and all this stuff. What happens? I sort of get rewarded for behaving shitty. I don't read the code, I don't read the documentation. I get rewarded for being a stupid fuck, not able to read the documentation, failing on my front teeth, you know, breaking my chin, so to say, and therefore repeating the mistake. It's like, that's the funny thing. It's like the same thing with a kid, you know, in a supermarket. There's like this condom ad. Maybe you might have seen it, or maybe not. Danish condom ad. like from 2009, a little bit older. It's sort of like, I want those candies, and the kid falls on the ground and screaming like, I want those candies, and the dad is looking like awkwardly, and then it's like some sort of condom ad, you know, haha, a little too late for that, haha, haven't heard that joke before. No, but back to business. The thing is, the kid, in most cases, especially nowadays, it's the zeitgeist, you know, it's the kid gets the candy, and it gets sort of rewarded for the shitty behavior, and this is what's happening. You know, this gets on my guts, because we're all, you know, it's the sad thing. It's not like one or two people acting up. We're all on this level, you know, and we're not realizing that we're acting out like this on a constant basis to everyone, everywhere, sort of, you know. And you have to respect it, because those are my feelings, and you can't make any progress with that. You're sort of in the safe bubble, but you know, it's like a bubble boy. What happens when a bubble boy tries to run on water? He won't progress forward. The bubble will spin, yes indeed, but he will never progress one step forward, because the fucking bubble is rolling because of, I don't know, fucking physical laws or something. Wait, just let me put my smartphone next to the energy drink while I take a piss. And that is what I'm saying. How can you make any progress if nobody is telling you what's wrong? This is how it feels. And this is especially how the last 3 weeks of lessons and teaching felt. Because there were no blah 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 in that. We shouldn't learn too fast, and we have to be very careful about the information we intersperse, we intersect. A little bit of crumples of information here and crumples of information there, and let us pretend that we had like a full, efficient learning, teaching class experience whatsoever. But we didn't, you know. I took a piss there, just so you know. I took a piss right there, you know, because I drank so much like peppermint tea and water, and had like nougat bits with milk, so cornflakes, because I had all this stuff. And what is it? Buttermilk, buttermilk. I have no idea. And kefir or something like this, because I had so much. Literally, water is coming out of me. But yeah, back to basics. So this is what I love about rents, you know, with me, myself, and I. There's no one interrupting my flow, if there is a flow. But there's like a lot of stuff coming up, and just can, like, you know, freestyle, poetry slam, sort of like, and a sort of feeling of dire dread, you know, like the world. I have this, I wouldn't call it anxiety attacks, you know, like I'm not sweating bullets and think I'm dying, but I feel at unease, you know, something is stylely wrong. And because you know, this is how you realize they've broken you, because I have free time, I can do my shit, I'm employed, I'm learning, I'm getting money for this, like everything is going my direction. There are one or two minor things that are missing in my life, and my brain is like perfect, like everyone else's brain. You got the 99.99999%, but what about those .0001% that are missing, man? Those are keeping you down. Those are slowing you down, man. This is what stops your progress. And I think with every year, even though I get somewhat calmer and wiser, sort of like, it's just like I'm trading off energy for wiseness, but in the meantime, there's like no real power gain, because when you have all the power, when you're young, you know, you have like this unfocused power. I love this state, because you feel like some sort of radioactive, what is it, have a better gamma ray, you know, like in every fucking direction. I penetrate everything. I'm everywhere and I'm nowhere. I'm omnipotent, so to say, you know. But the sad thing is, there is no focus, you know, because of this diversification in every direction. There is no focus. jack of all trades, master of none. I don't care. But yeah, the thing is nowadays, I feel like I sort of feel focused in some areas, and I also love to delve into many other areas. But I'm not getting younger, and I hate to bring up this old stuff, you know, like I'm getting old and all this stuff, like blah blah blah. Maybe it's some sort of side effect, hanging out too much with my uncle, talking with my uncle, because like always on a constant basis, like, you know, we might die. No shit, Sherlock, we might die, okay? And now, yeah, but when we die, that's that, you know. Nothing else is happening. Wow. Oh, this sounds bad. This sounds really bad. Like, you know, I listen to a lot of dark ambient and drone tracks and ambient tracks and whatnot. And when I hear this music, these soundtracks, these soundscapes, you know, these acoustical landscapes, I vision myself partially in some sort of I know this is cringe and pathetic that a lot of people tend to do this, like eroticizing death fantasies, you know, and this is what it feels like, sort of erotization of this death fantasy. And what else is there to say? Like, I mean, what happens when you're into this in this void? I can tell you what's not happening. The government pleading you or forcing you to work to make their shareholders happy, you know? No government documents, no one forcing you to pay rent, nobody holding you back to eat, to drink, to shit, piss, you know? You're just in a constant state of voidness, you know? You're sort of infinite by not being. And I think people sort of hate or fear this a lot. This is what I get. And if you speak out these thoughts, people say you're depressive, you're suicidal, man, you might kill yourself every second, you might be, you know, you need psychological evaluation and help, man. You know, like, nah, man, you don't get it. Like, every one of you, and don't fuck with me, every one of us has like a dark sort of period time and whatnot in their lives, you know, and everyone thought about killing themselves. But this is what wait, what is blah blah blah, what is my smartphone isn't telling me how much energy there's left. This is good to hear, because this is a 22-minute recording. I hope the fucking Google Pixel 7 will save this recording, otherwise I will throw myself off the bridge. That's a joke, YouTube. I'm making a fucking joke, you know. I also heard like YouTube brought back fucking swearing, you know. Like first they censored it for their shareholders, now they bring it back. But will they bring it back? Or did they ever censor it? Or will this all be peaceful and whatnot? I doubt it, but I don't care, you know? These are not suicidal thoughts. I'm okay. This is what I'm getting at. Raising that. I'm surviving. The only survival mechanism I have is like hedonism. You know, I exist to feel good. Anything else is secondary. And this is an egotistical mindset. I'm aware of that. The second, let's put it like dogma, if you can call it that, is like helping others, sort of, you know, empathy sort of wise. I'm not trying to be Jesus because this is overkill, but some killing him with kindness, you know. This is also not, is really so bad to be kind to other people? I don't think so. It might be, it's cringe to be not kind, you know, but it's also cringe if you're too kind. Everything is cringe. And I remember having this sort of out-of-body experience, like with cringe, when I remembered like, hey, wait a minute, everything is cringe. But yeah, back to topic. The only thing keeping me alive is like listening to music, you know. If I find the time, learn or do music, doing stuff with PCs, getting a full night's sleep, having some coffee, that's it, you know. In the best case, I talk with people that are sort of nice to listen to and nice to talk to, you know. But yeah, I can also like a hardened shell over the years. It don't bother me no more that like people, if 3 times the charm, you know, some sort of interruption benchmark. If I realize you're going back to the teach woman, like with the bad teaching skills and all that, if I come to realize you need to be the center of attention, I just distance myself, you know, because there's nothing constructive coming out of this, nothing whatsoever, and it's just painful. I have a clear concept of the future, what I want to realize, but here's the thing. You should never dwell on the past, you know, because there's like melancholy is like a bad drug, you know, serious drug addiction. The good old times. Nah, man, I was way poorer and shit, and I had less options, and I was doing shit I hated. But also being present, awareness of what I should do now, should not waste the now. Very important, you know. And also the fucking future, man. The future. Remember, every second, I remember a friend of mine telling me this, and it was quite obvious, but I also remember, like, keep that in mind, Merlin, as a personal note. Like he said, and I also knew this before, but it's also for you, dear listener. Keep in mind, you're constantly living in the past, the present, and the future. So you have to fuck around with 3 timelines constantly in real time, you know, RTC, real time clock. Like on a CPU, the gigahertz of this central processing unit is ticking in real time, and you've got to say, hedonism is quite nice, you know. I gooned a couple of hours, I boofed a couple of doobies, I OD'd a couple of times on age. It's just a joke. I'm just kidding, YouTube, you know. But still, there needs to be hustle and grind, but also not blind. And this is my problem, because I have this tunnel vision, you know, like, and especially with some sort of information addiction, that I go a rabbit hole and learn about this stuff, some proprietary shit no one uses, and I go delve down this rabbit hole about this proprietary shit, or open source shit from 1980, which also died out. But I sort of need to let it die out, these hobbies, these interests that I have in respect to information that might be secondary or tertiary for information purpose to recycle in a future point, you know, a future sort of, as you can hear, I'm taking another piss. There will be quite a lot because, like I said before, 2 or 3 liters, you know, and I know I remember telling you this, but I still miss my friends, my 2 dear friends. With both of them, I will play on the weekend like a game online, but the physical presence is dying out. Everything is online, and I'm also part of the problem, because literally recording a video digitally online, I will put it online later. Now it's offline, but still, I mean, I just lack sort of offline connections, and the only people that I had like offline are busy with family. So there is that, like, people, you know, in the extremes. I know I'm in the extreme with my 16 hours of digital devices, but they are also in the extreme with like 16 hours of kids. So I don't know, 20 hours. I heard it's a 24-hour job. I can't relate to that because, you know, give me a couple more decades or centuries to prepare myself for a child, and then we see. Yeah, because you know how it goes. If you're poor, make children. If you're rich, avoid them. And the funny thing is, it should be the other way around. But everyone says, like, yeah, how about we role play along this character? Yeah, but back to the existential dread, man. I talked with you like now for almost 30 minutes. I just want to finish this stuff, and my heart will dance out of pure bliss and joy if I'm able to do like some sort of Arch Linux setup, unironically speaking, only shell, no GUI, you know, graphical user interface. But also, if I can fix the laptop if I can stream, if I can walk around in nature again. I sort of like hid like a turtle in a shell a lot of days, the last couple of days or weeks even, because it was constantly raining, and I just don't want to fucking go outside when it rains. And it always rains when you go outside, and especially in Germany. Germany has a lot of nice things, but the weather ain't one of them, you know. And I just love it when like the ultimate sun vitamin D overdose comes over you, you know, like you're happy as fuck because you went outside, you touched grass, and as a reward you're allowed to, you know, destroy your retina with blue light, all technology input via smartphone and PC and laptop and some sort of hybrid mixture. What is it? Poly addiction, feeding into the addiction. But yeah, this is the thing. I need more technology. I need more time. I need more outside time. I need more free time. I need more work time. And that's the funny thing. I thought about like seriously going self-made business, but I fucking hate this government. You know, I hate this government so damn much, man. And I know in China it's worse, or I don't know, North Korea it's worse, or in Ukraine it's worse. It don't matter though, because am I not allowed to complain? Yeah. Are we having high living standards? Yeah. Is Germany a nagging country? Yeah, also. But still, man, I have a certain vision of myself, how I see myself, how I get there, how I want to be seen, you know, like this character I need to portray. And it's not like some, I don't know, cringy Andrew Tate or poor artists or Bill Gates. I see just this very vision of myself, some sort of astral projection, you could call it, you know. And in this vision, I'm financially independent. That means I'm not addicted like many millionaires or billionaires to acquire more money, but I'm also not addicted to spending it via gambling, to be so rich that you look at money like a strange concept, like not a slaveholder punishing you, no, for all the shitty work I did, for all the payments, the shitty payments that I got, for all the shit I got to pay, because with all the little money that you get, you're luckily allowed to spend it all on bills and food and medical stuff, treatments, and and I know this is like a red thread around all countries. The fine difference here is that in Germany, here and there, it is possible to save 1 or 2 euros, while in other countries it might look quite severe. But still, man, I need my sunshine and my own sort of work that is cut out for me, and I'm my own employer and my own employee. And the funny thing is, like, I see and hear it all the time with people when they get like seriously depressed or insane when they're jobless, you know, like, oh, the world is going down, my job was my one and everything, especially to escape my kids and children and wife and whatnot. And yeah, first of all, how did it get to that point? Second of all, how much, like, stand up for yourself, man. Have some self-respect. This is where like a lot of people are missing the self-respect part, not self-valuing themselves. I mean, I have a self-value, you know. I'm not saying like God mode, but there are self-values, values that I appreciate in myself that other people sort of can't about themselves. There's, by the way, a piss stain that I did also before. And the thing is, self-worth, yeah, but also a severe self-hatred, you know. And that's the funny thing about what I've seen with all the people. Like, there are things which I can't, like, you know, like never forgive them, can never be forgiven. It's funny if you're your own hardest critic, but this is the driving force. If you start also with yourself like, you messed up, but you get them next time, champ. No, there is no next time, you know? Time is on a linear scale at the moment in this universe or multiverse. At this point in time and area and space and whatnot, time and space, we are on a linear time stream. And the perception of time might be different to you because of sleep deprivation, too much sleep, too little sleep, because you're talking with friends, because you're at work, you know. you know these memes with oh boy, I hope I don't have a long work shift, long work day. And then you see like a big queue of people going into the long ass work factory, you know, long ass work day factory where they work just long ass shifts. The product is just long work. I love this concept, you know. There's no product, it's just time that won't, you know. And fucking appreciate time, man, you know. I mean, money as a source, yeah, sure, but you can't buy back time, and this is like sort of obvious, but it cuts deeper. It gets to a point where it's very hurtful, like on a personal base, you know. There's like, I'd say you can call me like a lot of names, but if you call me time waster, this is ouch, you know. Because this cuts a little bit too close to home. Just a hope that some areas you waste, but some areas you can nudge in a certain direction. And you don't have to build Rome in one day. But please, man, please, this is like not you, the viewer, this is to myself. Please, man, fix the shit that you have planned. You have like 2 projects, sort of, you know, 2 main goals, everything else, fuck it. And then I think, no, but this also, no, fuck it, you know, please, man. It's like, wow, at this point, cutting yourself or smoking crystal meth is healthier than this, you know? Because at least you had some sort of goal. It's a quick time goal, but you realized it. The 2 other goals that I have, the one is sort of learning and sitting it out. Okay, I can do that. I'm doing this partially. Could be better, could be worse. But the other one, there's always coming something up. And some are valid reasons, some are not so valid reasons. And how the fuck am I fixing this? Because let's put it like this. Today is, I don't know, Wednesday, 2 a.m. the 6th of August, yeah. But we have 2 weeks of holidays, you know, 2 weeks. And this means 20% from Monday to Friday, 2 weeks, you know, 100%, 10 days. So 1 day is 10%. 2 days are over. I have 7 days left. I gotta realize how valuable this sort of time is, but I also want to do some learning, and I love, like, I know I will sit myself in front of the PC. I've done so far every chore. I've done like 10k steps. I showered, I had some food, you know, a little bit gooning sesh later on, but after that, just pure focus and sleep. That's the only main drivers. At 6 p.m, allegedly 2 or 3 classmates will show up and appear, and we will learn something. But besides that, for 1 or 2 hours or 3 hours, but besides that, sleeping, doing all the other shit, and doing all my main stuff that I want to do for, you know. And this is like, yeah, I wish I would be some it's always funny when you look at how should I put this, Doctors Without Borders, you know, some sort of shit like this, you know, helping out people. That is nice, but the funny thing is, in order to get there, sounds ironic, you have to be at a certain state where you can neglect your own environment. This requires some amount of financial health in order to help others and also to help yourself. And this is sort of like the back story, the main start story, like blah blah blah, money isn't everything. It would be nice if you could but everything forces you in this sort of direction, you know, with the money stuff. And this is what pisses me off. My main goal was actually to drink a little bit of beer and energy and listen to some IDM along this old field path, sorta. But turns out we are doing like this deeply medical evaluation, psychological evaluation. But still, man, there's also another person in my closer circles not realizing that I blocked this person because it's just pure insanity and medication, and I can't deal with that. And the person in this highly drugged state, you know, because of government issues, you know, government says, how about we turn you into a fucking vegetable? This will heal you. You will cost the taxpayers a lot of money, and you're constantly overdrugged, and you will get various serious diseases. And then we give you like what is it? Stempel, like bam, you know. Here's the black on white signature confirming we healed you, you know. And this person is also not realizing that they are sort of killing him, and time is not also running backwards for them. And like sooner or later this person just dies, you know. And I'm not talking about some shitty legacy like some sort of fucking pharaoh or something, let my people go, you know. But less talking, more drinking. Where are the results? You have to be your own project manager, and you have to be your own sort of dev, and you have to keep up with the timelines. I sort of sorted out my to-do schedule. I slimmed it down, like a lot of trash was filling up. But these two main goals, man, if I can't realize them, I'm screwed. And it's tiny things that make me realize this. Like, we have sort of the middle of summer, you know? It's 2 a.m. and I'm freezing my ass off. And this is also especially because, you gotta know, in Germany, you have like January, you know, what am I saying? June is like the hottest month in Germany, you know? From night to day, like you're sweating your ass off. I love this. But July, especially August, you know, now you have the cooler nights and the hotter summers. But then the nights get even colder and the days, you know, get shorter, sweeter but also hotter. But, you know, less daytime, less light, less heat. And like I said before, I need the heat, I need the vitamin D overdose in order to function. And then I tend to think like, yeah, if I just got out of this country, exposing myself to some other country like 24/7, vitamin D, ODing, you know, this would make me highly productive. I could rock everything, man. But then I know exactly if I had the chance, if it would play out like this, if I were in some sort of state or country where I had this chance, would I really use it? Could I be an expat? Could I like do property shit? What is it? Housing and all this stuff. Can I be like company holder, CEO, sort of this? And I don't want to be this sort of type of thing, but if you look at it, this is like the only chance in order to make it with a sharp business sense. Otherwise, the system will eat you up. And it's also, don't forget, blah, 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 Marxism, communism is bad. Sure, I agree. But the alternative capitalism, with its 50 million bug fixes and patches, is also not quite attractive if you look at it. That you have to be like, have to have this constant hunger. If you're not growing, you're sort of stopping, you know. By not growing, you're shrinking basically, and the competition will eat you up. And it's this dog eat dog mindset that will kill us all, you know. Yeah. What else is there to say, man? Blah blah blah. Wrap it up, Merlin. Focus on this shitty project. And then there's like this rush state, you know, where I'm rushing shit so heavily that where is the learning curve in that? What is the lesson in that if I rush everything on the Sisyphus work I'm putting myself on, you know? I gotta realize what the Sisyphus tasks are, because this fucking boulder, it has to arrive, or I have to drop it, or I have to go some other route. You see him on the picture, you know? This also hits home. Fucking Sisyphus. Yeah. Go to the left, go to the right, drop the fucking stone. I know in the saga he has to. This is like his jaw, his punishment sort of. But still, man. Everyone has options. If I don't realize them, you know. I feel like one a day sleeping and I'm 60, you know? And there's no future prevention sort of. I have to be careful with my money, invest into those projects, financial safety net. The government won't help you too much. The safety net is getting quite thin these days in Germany. And even though prices are rising, the money everyone makes is not, you know, it's like, yeah, you need to be sort of like a lawyer, and taxation is like a specific trade, and you know about all these laws and tax exemptions in all these country pros and cons, and import, export, and all the shit, and trading, logistics, consumer goods, investing into companies. This is all just a reminder. This is just to have bread on your table, you know. This is like it's sort of forced, and it's not helping that the school is like not showing anyone how to do it. School is like also a funny concept. I had a conversation with a friend of mine and another friend of mine with in regards to all the school topics and how fucking useless they are. Like they say, what is the most boring, useless shit you could teach these kids 9 years in a row? And they have like this big list and say, yeah, this is shitty and this sucks ass, and no one will remember that shit. It's like, that's good, yeah, write that down, man. Yeah. And here we are, you know, and I know things won't have changed. You know, my final exams of these two that I have, hopefully, you know, I will pass them. Otherwise, yeah, the world won't go under, but it would be nice if I had that paper. Anyways, we're writing that shit on paper, you know, literally paper. We're doing stuff with computers and shit, and we're writing this stuff down. And the argument is like, yeah, this shows us that you really understood it because of the abstraction layer, you know, ooga booga, you are doing it with stones in cave. This means you are big smart, biggest ooga.